Hello to everyone. In this video, let us discuss oxyacids of nitrogen. See here, what are the oxyacids of nitrogen? First one is HNO or H2N2O2. What is this name here? Hyponitrous acid. And the second one is HNO2 and its name is orthonitrous acid, or simply we call it as nitrous acid. And what is the third one here? HNO3, orthonitric acid, or simply we call it as nitric acid. And fourth one is HNO4, known as pernitric acid. So these are the oxyacids of which one means nitrogen, and among all of them nitric acid is important for our discussion here. So now let us see preparation properties of nitric acid. So now let us see here. HNO3 is known as nitric acid or aquaresia. That is also called aquaresia. So now here in what are the methods of preparation of nitric acid? Let us see here. Two methods of preparations are there. First method is Ostwald's method and second method is Birkeland-Eyde process. So two methods are there for the preparation of nitric acid. So in Ostwald's method, the first step is oxidation of ammonia. On oxidation, ammonia produces nitric oxide. This nitric oxide, when subjected to oxidation, produces nitrogen dioxide, and that nitrogen dioxide, when treated with water and oxygen, what we can get here means HNO3. So this is the method of preparation of nitric acid by Ostwald's method. And here whatever the HNO3 obtained is 61% pure. Upon distillation, it gives 68% pure HNO3. Whenever this is distillated by using that phosphorus pentoxide, we get 98% pure HNO3. This when treated with freezing mixture, we can get 100% HNO3. So this is the purification method of nitric acid and preparation by Ostwald's method. And in case of Birkeland-Eyde process, only the first step is different. Remaining second and third two steps are same as in the case of Ostwald method. So what is the first step here? That air and oxygen, air means nothing but nitrogen and oxygen, combine to give NO. Again that NO undergoes oxidation to give NO2. NO2 when treated with water and oxygen, again we can get HNO3. So only the first step is different. And what are the questions regarding these preparation methods we get in competitive exams? So the first question, what are the starting ingredients in the preparation of nitric acid using Ostwald's method? So the answer is ammonia and oxygen. And the same question, what are the starting ingredients for the preparation of nitric acid using Birkeland-Eyde process? Means which one? N2 and O2, or sometimes air and oxygen also they give the options. So this is regarding which one here? Preparation methods of HNO3. Now let us see the properties of which one? Nitric acid. Okay, now what are the properties of nitric acid here? Nitric acid is a colorless liquid and in vapor phase it is having trigonal planar structure. So now next it freezes at 231 Kelvin. This is the freezing point. And what is its boiling point means? That is 355 Kelvin. So these are the freezing point and melt that boiling point of nitric acid HNO3. And it acts as which one? Strong oxidizing agent. HNO3 acts as a strong oxidizing agent. So now let us see the chemical properties of HNO3. In chemical properties, first reaction with zinc and copper, most important for any competitive exams. So let us see first here reaction with copper. Copper when treated with dilute HNO3. What is the product here? Means NO. Of course, remaining products means copper nitrate and water we can get. But copper when treated with concentrated HNO3, what is the product? Means here NO2. Remaining products of course as it is. So we have to remember this main product here. Copper plus dilute HNO3 means we get which one? NO. But copper with concentrated HNO3, what is the product? Means here NO2. And similarly zinc react with dilute HNO3 and what is the product? Means here N2O. The remaining products here zinc nitrate and water. And similarly zinc when treated with concentrated HNO3, again NO2 and remaining products are same. So we have to remember these products of which one? HNO3 with copper and zinc. That is most important for any exams. Okay, then and HNO3 reacts with even non-metals also. Even with non-metals also that can react and oxidizes them. So let us see what are the reactions here. First, carbon plus HNO3. So now how to remember that balanced equation? So no need to worry, a simple technique is there to remember that balanced equations of HNO3 with non-metals. So first we have to remember the main product. Carbon and oxidation gives which one? CO2. And byproducts we have to remember in every case as NO2 and H2O. How to balance that equation? Let us see. Okay, then phosphorus plus HNO3. Now phosphorus and oxidation gives what? H3PO4. This we have to remember. Byproducts as it is same, NO2 plus H2O. And sulfur plus HNO3. Sulfur on oxidation gives what? H2SO4. Byproducts are same, NO2 plus H2O. And iodine plus HNO3. What is the main product? Means iodic acid. Byproducts are same, NO2 and H2O. Let us see the balancing. How to balance easily? So first we have to remember the main products. In all cases byproducts are same, NO2 water, NO2 water, etc. like that only. Now how to balance easily? See here, we know that carbon group number is how much? 4th A group. Here one carbon is there. So 4 into 1. That means what we are doing? Group number of that non-metal and number of such type of elements. Here group number 4, only one carbon is here. So that means we have to multiply 4 into 1 means 4. Write the 4 here. Now try to balance the remaining. As 4 nitrogen atoms here, let us write 4NO2, and then 4 hydrogens are here, so we have to write 2H2O. Now once check it, all atoms are balanced or not. One carbon, here also one carbon, 4 nitrogens, here also 4 nitrogens, 4 hydrogens, 2 2s are 4 hydrogens, 4 3s are 12 oxygens, here 2, 2 plus 8, 10, 10 plus 2, 12. So already balanced, very easy now. The same rule here also we can apply. Now see here, phosphorus we know the group number 5. But as in the case of carbon, we have to do the same thing here. Group number into here P4 we have to write now 4 is here. So 5 4s are 20. Write 20 here. That's it. Now as 4 phosphorus here we have to write 4H3PO4. 20 nitrogens means we have to write to 20. 20 hydrogens means here 10 2s are 20. Now check it whether that oxygen atoms and every atoms are balanced or not. 4 phosphorus, here also 4 phosphorus. 20 nitrogens, here also 20 nitrogens. 20 hydrogens. Now 4 3s are 12. Okay, now total how many hydrogens here? 20 hydrogens. 4 3s are 12. Okay, now we have to write here just the remaining hydrogens. 4 3s are 12 means still how many hydrogens we have to write? 8. So we have to write 4H2O. Now let us try to balance oxygen atoms. 23s are 60. Here 60 oxygen atoms are present. Now count here, 4 4s are 16 plus 22s are 40 plus 4. That means how much we can get here? 40 plus 16, 56 plus 4, 60. So 60 oxygens balanced. Okay, no need to worry about balancing. Now same we have to use in case of sulfur also. So we know that, tell me that what is a sulfur group number? 6th group. So 6 sides are 48. So let us write 48 HNO3. Sir, is it really balanced? Yes, really balanced. See here, sulfur 8 atoms, we have to write 8 H2SO4. 48 nitrogen, so we have to write 48 NO2. And then okay, now we have to balance which one? Hydrogen atoms. 48 hydrogen atoms here, already 8 2s are 16 gone here. Out of 48, 16 gone means how much remaining here? 32. 32 means we have to write 16 H2O. Let us consider now oxygen atoms. 48 3s are, don't worry, 144. That is not 144 section, 144 oxygen atoms. Now in left side. Now come to the right side. 4 8s are 32 plus 48 2s are 96 plus 16. Now if you add all these, again we can get to 144. That means oxygen atoms also balanced. Very simple now. Just 8 6 are 48. Just remember that easily. And here 5 4s are 20. Carbon 4 1s are 4. That's it. Now come to iodine. Iodine means in 10th standard every student to feel IO like that, because they have to write public examinations. So IO means we have to remember 10. 10th standard, 10 HNO3. So now here 2 iodines, so we have to write 2 HiO3. As 10 hydrogens, we have to write here which one? 5 H2O. 10 nitrogens means let us write 10. Now calculate oxygens here. 10 3s are 30 oxygens. Here 2 3s are 6 plus 10 2s are 20 plus 5. So now okay, how many? 1 minute. Here already 2 hydrogens we have written here. Means just we need to write 4. That means 4 2s are 8. Now see here how much we can get. How many oxygens we have to write here? 2 3s are 6 plus 10 2s are 20 plus 4 oxygen atoms. That means 20 plus 6, 26 plus 4, 30. So oxygen atoms also balanced. That's it. No need to worry about balancing of these reactions. We have to remember in a simple way like this. Okay, then HNO3 when treated with, that means graphite when treated with HNO3, graphite is oxidized to CO2. But diamond doesn't react with which one means HNO3. Diamond doesn't react with HNO3, but graphite when treated with HNO3 that oxidizes to CO2. And another important thing here, aluminium plus concentrated HNO3. Initially some reaction will take place, but after some time that reaction has been stopped. Why? Why? Because due to the formation of oxide layer, this aluminium enters into passive state with concentrated HNO3. What is passive state? After some initial reaction, the state of non-reactivity is known as passivity or passive state. Generally, in regular classes, when the lecturer enters the class and he will start the class, up to 10 or 15 minutes, almost all the students listen to the class. But from 16th or 17th minute onwards, they get into one type of mode, that is sleepy mode. That is called passive state. So like that here also, aluminium enters passive state with concentrated HNO3. So aluminium does not give any further products with which one concentrated HNO3. So this is regarding which one means oxy acids of nitrogen. Okay, in our next video, let us go for which one oxy acids of phosphorus. Okay, bye.